Alright, so we're going to do weighing by difference. We're going to weigh this sample of magnesium nitrate out accurately into a weighing boat, then transfer it to this beaker and then use it to make up our standard solution. I have a second beaker here in order to store any waste if I've got too much, if I weigh out too much by accident. So, beaker, spatula, sample that we start with, and we need a weighing boat. So first let's check that the balance is on and has been zeroed. If it's not reading zero, I will re-zero it so that I know that it's giving a stable reading to 4 decimal places. Now I'll take a weighing boat, make sure I've only got one, place that on the balance. And zero that. Now I'm going to add my magnesium nitrate, but I don't want to spill any onto the balance, so we'll remove the weighing boat and add 2 grams of magnesium nitrate. Now this sample tube that you've been issued with contains a little over 2 grams. So I'll give my best guess of what 2 grams will look like. That's only 1.43 grams according to the balance, so I need to add a bit more. So that's pretty good. That's 2.0385 grams. The last digit is fluctuating a little bit. So I'm going to record that in my lab notebook. .03887 grams. And now I'm going to take that and transfer it into this beaker, which I would use to make up my solution. So I want to transfer everything that I can. And now I check the weight left behind. Okay, I did a pretty good job there, so it's gone almost perfectly back to zero. That won't always be the case. So my weight afterwards is about 0.0003 grams. I can calculate the mass of magnesium I've transferred. That weighing boat goes in the bin. Balance goes back to zero or off, and I take all of this and clean it away, and I will take this beaker over to my bench to make up my solution. So here's the sample that I've just weighed out. Here's a 250ml volumetric flask. Don't need my spatula anymore. And what I'm going to do is quantitatively transfer all of this into that volumetric flask. So, funnel so I don't spill anything. First job is to dissolve this, and we're dissolving this sample into distilled water. So, add enough distilled water, rinsing down the sides to make sure that everything's dissolved. I'll swirl it. Might need to stir it with a stirring rod that I have there, or we might be able to dissolve it by swirling. I think everything's been dissolved now. So I'm going to transfer that through the funnel into my volumetric flask. Notice that I lifted the funnel a little bit so that we don't get any bubbles or airlocks. Now there's some drops left behind in the beaker and there's some drops trapped in the funnel. So to make sure that we transfer everything, I will rinse this out again. Anything that's undissolved, that remained undissolved, will certainly be dissolved this time. And I'm rinsing down the sides, swirling again. And I'm pretty confident that everything has been dissolved now. So transfer that into the volumetric flask. Rinsing through the solution that was remaining from before. Volumetric flask is still nowhere near full, so I have plenty of room to add water later. And just for luck, we'll do one more rinse. Make sure I got all those drops, all the last remaining residue of my magnesium salt. And through the funnel. At this point, everything's been rinsed in. The drops that remain in the beaker are just water. Any drops in the funnel I rinse down. And now I don't have to worry about the fact that there's just water left behind. And my volumetric flask is still a quarter full, not more than that. So I can make sure that everything is properly dissolved by swirling. If I put the lid on, I'll be able to invert this, and then I can dilute that up to the mark to make my standard solution.